Well, I'm doing something today that has needed to get done for a few months now, and it's funny how these things happen, but I think it's something everyone can relate to. Cleaning out a closet, cleaning out a drawer, cleaning out a room, because somehow, slowly, things start to accumulate, they start piling up, then stuff starts falling down. When you open a door, you start cramming things in there, just shoving them in, putting them wherever they will fit, thinking, I'll get to it, I'll get to it. And it can be daunting. So I'm going to show you what this closet looks like now. It's empty, but for the last 45 minutes, I have been taking everything out, and tackling this task, which I always forget how much of a nightmare it is. You kind of can't believe what would fit into a small coat closet like this until you take everything out. But what I want to share with you today is my method of how I do this, because I do think it is a difficult thing to do for it to be effective, for it to last, for it to stay tidy, or for it to become tidy. And I'm good at this. The first thing I will say, which is something that I'm a broken record, I've been saying for years, my best advice to any of you on how to do this is to read a book. Don't watch the Netflix special. Don't watch a YouTube video about it. Get the actual book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. It truly changed my life and the way I approach all of this. What I am going to share with you today is part of what I learned from her. So that's my first piece of advice. My second piece of advice is when you attempt to do something like this, it doesn't really work if you take some things out and you think, oh, those things, the other things I'm going to keep in there because I know I'm going to want them. You have to take everything out for multiple reasons. The first reason is mental. When you take everything out and you put it in a different space, it will be so traumatizing to you / disgusting often, because you'll look at everything in piles and you kind of can't believe that there was that much stuff in this space. It will gross you out. It will embarrass you. I actually hesitated to make this video because I was embarrassed to show you the chaos of what the space looks like when I'm going through this process. But I did think it's important to share this aspect of my life, because it is the ability to go through this process that enables me to live a life of order and beauty. The order and the beauty doesn't just exist. It takes a lot of work and it takes maintenance. Once you achieve it, it doesn't just stay that way. I curate my apartment, I curated it, I love the way everything is, but it ebbs and flows, and as I acquire things, as I'm doing projects and I need supplies, or as the seasons change, stuff moves around, and these closets especially have a funny way of just getting filled. So this is a task that I tackle about once a year, sometimes once every 2 years. And that tackling it, sort of getting the strength to say, I have to do this, I'm going to do it, and then doing it is what gives me peace of mind and a sense of accomplishment. Like when the closets are clean and the apartments are clean and the cupboards are all, the interior of every cupboard and drawer has been curated, I do have this wonderful peace of mind just knowing that everything is tidy and in its place and there's not an excess of stuff, especially when I'm retrieving something from a space. That stuff isn't falling all over the place, or I'm not rummaging around to find something because I know where everything is. So this is what I do. The first aspect of taking everything out is the mental aspect of kind of traumatizing yourself. The second reason why it's important to do that is because it's only by taking everything out that you can genuinely clean every single corner of the empty closet. Like what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wipe off all the shelves, I'm going to vacuum the floor, wash the floor, and then I know that this space is kind of clean. That also does something for me. It's kind of like priming a canvas and getting it ready for painting. When you cleanse something, wash it, clean it, smells nice, looks nice, and you know there's no dust or dirt in there, it makes it now a space that is worthy of your most precious things. It's a kind of ritual, cleansing or cleaning a space like this, and I do think it's very important that you do that, and you can only do that if it's empty. The third reason why the space needs to be empty, I think, is because you might think you know what's in there, and you might think you want the things that you're keeping in there, but you're very often wrong. You will always find stuff that when you're holding it, you thought you wanted it, but when you're holding it, you ask yourself, you know, do I really want to hold on to this? And then you have to go through this difficult thing of deciding yes or no. So those are the three reasons why I believe it's so important to empty the closet before beginning to put everything back. Now, the next aspect, putting everything back. You should not put everything back. The main reason I do this, the main reason I take everything out of the closet is to be able to look at everything and to cull, to get rid of stuff. I am doing this constantly. That is how my apartment stays neat and tidy. It's like a what do you call it? Like the exterminator comes in to get rid of creatures. It's like the stuff is kind of like the creatures. They have a way of like going like this and finding their way into your life. You know, you buy a light bulb. You need a light bulb. Well, then you have 3 extra light bulbs because you bought the packet. You bought some oil to lube a door hinge. Well, the door hinge is oiled, and now this little canister of oil has been sitting in the closet for 4 years. And it's like that with so many things. All these tiny things accumulate, and then when you look at them you think, oh yeah, I need to hold on to that bottle of oil because that hinge was squeaky and I might need it again. Well, if you have space, great. If you have space where you can store that bottle of oil and everything is going to stay neat, then by all means hold on to it for 10 years. But if you don't have space, if you don't have a garage, if you don't have a basement, if you don't have a storage locker, you need to be ruthless, and you really need to ask yourself, is it worth living with the clutter and feeling the discomfort of the clutter over having the closet look curated, beautiful, neat, and tidy? And for me, it's the latter. I want the inner peace. I want the inner peace of opening up this closet every time I need to get something and thinking, wow, look how nice that looks. And in order to achieve that, something has to go. Many things have to go. Sacrifices need to be made. So that little bottle of oil, I think, you know what? I'm going to get rid of it. Like, I haven't used it in 3 years. And I guess 3 years down the line, if I need it again, I might have to go out and buy that $2 bottle of oil, sure. Or borrow some from a neighbor next time. But this is the place where it becomes extremely difficult for most people to part with things. They think, I can't get rid of that because I might need it. I can't get rid of that because it's useful. I can't get rid of that because it's valuable. Oh, maybe a friend might want it. So maybe I should hold on to it and ask my friends if they want it. Maybe I can sell this. Maybe you can. However, if you're holding on to it and not actually selling it, which a lot of people do, they think they're going to, it's still taking up space. It's taking up space in there, and it's taking up space mentally. So I'm going to get to work, and I'm going to clean out this closet, like vacuum, wash, and then I'm going to start going through my stuff and putting the stuff back. And I'm looking out at the living room right now, and it's upsetting. It's upsetting to see that there's no one else living here. I did this. I accumulated all this stuff. That's also something that I think is important to do when you have taken everything out and put it out into the space and it's awful to look at. Say out loud, I did this. I created this mess. I acquired these things. Because it'll help you to not do that in the future. Admitting that you are responsible for this is one of the ways of preventing it from happening and being more discerning when you go out there and you're tempted to acquire something to bring home. You'll remember. Is there space? Okay, I'm gonna get to work. Okay, I have washed out the shelves, the floor of the closet. The water was dirty. It's just, you think, oh, the closet's closed. How much dust can actually get in there? Well, there's so much dust in the closet. And when I washed this shelf, I just put it out in the sun to dry. And then now, I'm just going to put this back. It's like Austin Powers driving a forklift. There. Okay. Really, as I said, half of the reason to do this, to wash everything out, is, for me, mental. It is the sacred cleansing of a space, ritualistic washing. Not only does it actually make it cleaner, but in my head, I have gone through the motions of washing something. So I feel like this is now a pure space. It's now a pure space into which only the most precious things are going to be stored. Okay? So now what do we do? Now that we have a nice, clean, empty space, how do we begin sorting things? Well, this is what I do. I go into the space where all the stuff is laid out, and I look at I find the most precious thing, the thing that I know for sure I do not want to get rid of. And it can be anything. I would stay away from the clothes though, because this is a clothes closet. I'm going to have to sort through the clothes. So I'm going to look at like the stuff. And I'm going to find one thing, the most precious thing in the stuff, that I'm going to place back into the closet. So I'm looking around. And I see it. I know what it is. It's something I've had for years, and something that I still pick up. And when I pick it up, it sparks joy. It makes me happy. It's this hat maker's block. This was given to me by the friend of one of my high school teachers, this older lady in Toronto, and she gave it to me when I was in high school. She was a hat maker, and I think when I was introduced to her, she was in her 80s, and she was getting rid of all of her stuff that she had acquired in the 40s. And I had the stuff for years, like these metal things that heated up with these old plugs. I did not get into hat making, but what remained was this block, which I have loved so much, and which has lived in this closet. And I'm holding this. I mean, this is the sort of thing I do ask myself, do I want to get rid of this now? Is it time for this to go? I don't just think, oh, I can't get rid of that because it's precious to me and someone gave it to me. That is the danger. If you're like that with your stuff, you won't get rid of anything. And the mess that you took out of the closet is just going to go back into the closet. Pointless waste of time. This is the hard work. This right here is the work that you have to do, and you must be ruthless. You have to forget what people are going to think of you. Oh, John gave this to me, and what would he think if I got rid of it? He would think that I was an awful friend because this was so precious to him, so I guess I can't get rid of it. No. If John is offended by you getting rid of the thing that he gave you, well then maybe he shouldn't be giving you things. Maybe next time he'll think twice about giving you things. Because you know what? You need to live your life, and you need to be happy with your life and your space before you have the capacity to give something to somebody else. You need to give to yourself so that you have something to give to your friends and your loved ones. And this is how you give to yourself, by asking yourself, regardless of what anybody else thinks, do I really want this? Does this make me happy holding it? And if it doesn't, you have to get rid of it. You have to. That's how you make space. That's how you make physical space, but that's also how you make mental space. I'm constantly making physical space, but while I'm making physical space where there's empty space, I'm making empty mental space in my head to fill with useful, good things, like learning how to paint watercolors, learning how to do a squat at the gym properly. You need that mental space. So this, I know I want, it's going to go back. And now what I do, this is actually something that I really do, is I step back and I look at it. And I'm walking you through this because this is the work. I say, wow, look how nice that is. Look how nice this closet would be if it was just empty and just had that head in it. Doesn't that feel great? Doesn't it feel like I'm relaxed and there's no chaos going on in that closet? Ah, compare that to how I felt last week when every single time I opened this closet and was like, fuck this closet, the door won't close and I can't even get anything in here. God, this is so annoying. I'm sharing this with you because this is really what I do and this is how I do it. You have to criticize yourself. You have to reprimand yourself, but then you also have to reward yourself for how good it feels to be able to just look at something like this and say, doesn't that look great? Because then you say, doesn't that look great? Now, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it by overcrowding this closet. And the only way that's going to happen is by being ruthless and getting rid of stuff. So now I'm going to slowly and carefully go through my things and put the things that I know for sure I must keep because I want to keep them, not because I think I might need them. You don't keep things because you think you might need them. If there's a hat you're holding in your hand and it's a really thick winter hat, you know, you like it, but it doesn't really spark joy. Like you're not like, oh my God, this makes me feel so wonderful. Get rid of it. Because if the dialogue in your head is, well, I might need this on the coldest days in winter, you know what? You'll figure it out. This is Marie Kondo. You will figure it out. You'll put 2 hats on. You'll put a scarf around your head. You'll run through the cold for the 5 minutes and bear it. Do not keep the hat. Do not keep the thick, crazy hat because you think you might need it. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. When you're doing this alone and when you're in that moment, just remember, I'm watching you. Well, it's been a couple hours. I take breaks in between when I feel like I don't want to do this. Like, I get that feeling sometimes. I'm like, ugh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I stop. I go do something else, have lunch, have a cup of tea, watch a TV show. I leave this alone, and then I come back to it, because this, for me, requires full attention and full intention. So I don't play any music while I'm doing this. I don't have a TV show going on in the background. I'm not on the phone talking to someone while I'm doing this. I don't believe this can be done effectively and properly if your mind isn't 110% involved in this task. Because this is not just a case of, oh yeah, I like this jacket, yeah, I'm putting it back. It really requires full focus and internal questioning when you're holding every single thing, like not just clothes, but because this is what's going to happen. Oh, this thing, this is a clay terracotta water thing for plants, where when I'm away from home, I take a water bottle, fill it with water, and then put this on and then stick this in the plant. Okay? This is a stupid example. Well, it's not a stupid example. It seems silly, but it's the perfect example, actually. And I use this when I'm not here. This, unfortunately, does not fit into any water bottle, like all water bottles. It's a certain size, and the only water bottle that will fit onto it are these little Evian. The Evian water bottle opening is the right size for this. So I've held on to this ugly, stupid thing. Well, it's not ugly. One of the reasons why I actually buy Evian water bottles is because I do think it's pretty, the color combination, the blue and the pink label, when I have to buy a water bottle, which is not often. So I've held on to it for that purpose. But when I'm so there are these two things. And then there's this bottle of camellia oil, which is used for my pruning shears. It's Japanese pruning shears, and they're supposed to be oiled with camellia oil to prevent rust. Okay? I'm holding this. I like this. I want to keep this. I don't want to put it in this closet. I feel like it doesn't belong here. So I don't know what to do at this point. Do I just put it here? Like, okay, it can just live there because there's no other place for it. No. I say no. If there's music playing in the background, I'm watching a TV show, I can't have this internal dialogue. It's not going to happen. If something else is going on, I would just put the thing there. And then I would do that with many other things. And then the closet is semi-curated. But this is where the word ruthless comes in. No, this is not going in that closet. No. And it seems silly, but that's how you create a beautiful space. For you, only you can say whether it's beautiful or not. What is beautiful to me might not be beautiful to you. What's beautiful to you might not be beautiful to me. But in order for it to be the best that it can be for you, you have to be completely ruthless. So I don't know where this is going to live. Maybe it will end up back in here, but probably not, because my feeling is I don't want to put this in here. It started with this thing, which is really funny because this is useless for most of the year. I use that sometimes when I've knitted a hat and I need to block the hat onto it, wet the hat, wash it, then stretch it over that wooden thing and pin it into place. But the reason why that was the first thing that went in there is because it's my favorite thing in there. The irony is, this is a very useful closet. It's full of useful things, but my favorite thing in there is something that's pretty useless for most of the year. But I think it just makes that whole closet, every time I open that closet, that's the first thing I see, the face greeting me. And there's something about that wood, just the plain, unpainted, unstained wood, that pulls to the wood of the hangers, the wood of the shelves. I feel like it ties everything together visually. And I worked back from there. And this doesn't belong, and I don't want to put this thing in there, this was sort of hidden in one of the flower vases. Every time I would rummage around to get something, this was clinking around and making noise and falling out of the flower vase and just annoying me, so it's not going back there. This is going to go into the recycling. What am I going to do when I go away in a month and need to water the plants? I don't know. I'll go out and get an Evian bottle and drink the water and then use it for that period of time while I'm gone, and then put it in the recycling, because this is the sort of thing that makes this so hard, is that most people would say, no, I need to hold on to this because I'm going to use it in a month, so I have to keep this. And look what happens. It's junkified again. So no. No. The last things that are going into this closet, which I have been working very hard today to completely curate, are these drop cloths, which have not lived in this closet. They were somewhere else, and I thought, you know what? I want these drop cloths to live in this closet. So I folded them very carefully. I have my Troubadour harp cover for when I'm traveling and take my harp with me for practicing. There's a cover, a very annoying, thick, padded thing that I do love, but I need to store it somewhere, so it actually fits up there now perfectly because there's room up there. And I'm going to put these drop cloths up there, folded neatly, with the folded harp cover. And even though I'm not going to see this very often, I'm looking up at this top shelf and I'm thinking, you know what? It looks neat up here. It did not look neat this morning. It was a huge jumbled mess. But now when I'm looking up there, I think, I like how that looks. It makes me feel good. You know, this is done now. This closet is tidy, it's cleaned. There are a couple of little things I feel I can curate, just make things look a little prettier. Now, I always love I love certain labels of things, and I love the front of this borax box. I've always loved looking at it. So I'm actually going to turn it out and cover the bottles that are back there so that looks nice. And now this closet's done. And here's the thing. When I am practicing the harp every day for an hour, when I am sitting at my table practicing a watercolor, I am focused on creating something beautiful. I'm working on creating something beautiful. And in the back of my mind, there is an unresolved, unsettled thing when this closet is a mess. And it's not as easy to create a beautiful sound in the harp or a beautiful watercolor study when things are unsettled in my head. That is that is the reason why, although I hate this task, I can't emphasize how much I hate doing this. I hate it so much. I hate cleaning out these closets. But what I hate even more is the feeling of living with them. And it's actually something that's not a choice. I can't live with a closet that's a jumbled mess with stuff falling out. So this is one of the hard things that is like one of the hard, difficult chores that I have that must be tackled. My hands are dry, feel gross. It's taken a few hours, but it's done now. And now when I open it, I feel happy. Like I like looking at it. Every single piece of clothing is something that I not only like, but absolutely love. There's a pile of stuff that's going to go to the thrift store over there. Stuff that I have discarded. And there's more room in here now. Before, this was like earlier this morning, it was just packed. I couldn't even move the hangers around. And that's what I was like, okay, I need to do this today. This feels great. Now it feels great. The work has paid off. Cleaning a closet. That's how I do it.